Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariana and you're watching Lucifer's Library. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my February TBR. I am not doing a TBR game for February. It's not ready yet, but also I am joining a few readathons and readalongs. So it's busy and I can't play a TBR game trying to balance out the prompts with the books that I want to read for these events. Plus I also have school. The books that I have planned for next month, it's a big stack. I realized that I really don't like doing wrap-ups, so I think I'm just gonna quickly go through the books that I have read in January. Keep in mind, it is January 24th still, and I am planning on reading a book here and there, and I am planning on reading The Goddess Test. I am in a bit of a reading slump, so it's possible that I won't finish it, or it's possible that I'll pick up another book. The first book that I finished reading in January was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Overall, I rated this book 3.75 stars. It isn't a full 4-star rating because the first half of the book I really disliked. I wanted to DNF it, but then the second half kind of redeemed it, so I rated it quite high, to be honest, considering the book itself is enjoyable. It's just the main character that I had a problem with. She was a little bit annoying. Say hi to our visitor. This is Aya. Hi Aya. Hi pretty girl. Anyway, it's because of the second part of the book that I gave it such a high rating, because it was very satisfying. The main character was a little bit less annoying. She had a little bit of character development. Next, I picked up The Bane Chronicles, and this was also for Witcheralong and Treat Yourself Readathon, and I rated this 4.25 stars. Ended up loving it far more than I thought I would. Keep in mind, I avoided this book because I don't like collection of short stories, and it's because of this book that I had not continued with Cassandra Clare's books at all, although right now I'm feeling like I am kind of aging out of them. I don't think that I will particularly enjoy the Mortal Instruments upon rereading them at this point in time. I might enjoy the Infernal Devices just because I really like the Infernal Devices, but this book really surprised me. Book number 3 that I picked up was Across the Green Grass Fields by Seanan McGuire. I love the representation in this book. However, I feel like the pacing was a little bit off and the ending was a bit disappointing. There was so much build-up, but then the ending just fell flat for me. So I rated this book 2 stars. Next, I picked up When Snowflakes Fall by Tara Wyatt. This was a book from my Kindle, and for this one, it is again a very short book. I rated it 3 stars. It was really fun, but it wasn't something that I would pick up again. Then for the Witcheralong, I was struggling to pick up a fantasy book, and because I was in a reading slump, I wanted to go with something that was safe, that I knew what was gonna happen, and I picked up The Assassin's Blade, which is a reread. The first time I read it, I rated it 5 stars. However, this time around, I lowered the rating to 3.5. It's not my favorite. Again, I'm not a big fan of short stories, but my favorite one was The Assassin and the Desert. This is my favorite short story. This one is the only one that I would rate 5 stars, but all the other ones are kind of like meh. Next up, I picked up Where the Drowned Girls Go by Seanan McGuire, and I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of some of the other books in the series, and for this one, I feel like all of these books are either a hit or a miss for me, and this is the second highest book that I have rated. And the last book that I have read is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This I randomly picked up for the TBRPG-a-thon. Keep in mind, because I am in a reading slump, I picked up a lot of books this month, and I have unhauled and DNF'd a lot of books this month. Let's get to the point of this video, which is my February TBR. I already have my spread in my journal, and the theme for February is pink. I am going to be telling you all the events that I am joining. So February is the start of Witcheralong, and I think it's gonna be lasting about October, and every single month we read a Witcher book. For February, it's gonna be The Last Wish. I am so honored to be one of the co-hosts for the Witcheralong, and like I said, in February we are reading The Last Wish, which I already read, but it's gonna be so much fun just talking about this book with the other co-hosts, and I am really just pumped for this. You can get more information for the Witcheralong on Twitter, but under the username Witcherathon. So this year it's gonna be a Witcheralong, and next year it's gonna be a Witcherathon, a readathon, where you get prompts and you can choose different books that fit those prompts. But for now, It's a Witcheralong where we read the series together. Okay, moving on, we have Sims Readathon, and this is also the entirety of February. I am choosing Team Pleasant because I have been Team Lake for Witcherathon, and Esme is the captain of Team Lake, and she is also the captain of Team Pleasant. So I figured if it's not broken, don't fix it. I was doing perfectly for Team Lake, and I was having so much fun with Esme. So I am gonna join Team Pleasant, I guess. Let it be known that the dedication and loyalty is real. I have not even checked out other teams in search for other, maybe better prompts. I just knew that if I was gonna join, I'm gonna be Team Esme, aka Team Pleasant. Esme is not paying me to say this, I promise. So for Team Pleasant, we have 9 prompts, and the 9th prompt that I have here is the one specific prompt that our team has together, which is strong family ties. For this one, I don't have a book picked out. I might double up and choose one of the previous books that I have for all the other prompts. We'll see. Now, for the first prompt that I have is a reread. I'm also going to be choosing The Last Wish because, again, it's a reread, but also fits with the Witcheralong, and it's perfect. I'm trying to double up as much as I can just so that I don't have a TBR that is too big. Okay, for the next book, we have a book with over 500 pages, and I'm also choosing this book for multiple POVs. And this is the book that I am feeling inspired to read because of Ro. You know, she was the host for the TBRPG-a-thon, and she talked about reading this book, and it just inspired me because I've been avoiding it for months. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I've had this book on my TBR for like multiple months. It's time that I pick it up. It is Crescent City, or The House of Earth and Blood. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna hopefully read it. It is over 500 pages and it has multiple POVs. I also realized that I wrote the next prompt under romance. I wrote The Last Wish, which no, I meant to write The Switch by Beth O'Leary. This is, again, a very recent buy, and I just want to read something because I know this one's gonna be heavy, but I want to read something light. I mixed it up. The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary is for the romance category, and The Switch is for the journey or trip, because I think grandma and her granddaughter switch houses, so it's kind of like a journey or a trip. Next up, we have famous main character, and for that one, I think I'm gonna skip this prompt, but I do have on my Kindle America's Next Reality Star, which is, I don't know if it's a middle grade, I don't know exactly what it is, but it seems like it would fit this prompt, featuring animal. And for this one, I have chosen The Rose Society. There is a wolf on the cover, and also the main character is called the White Wolf. So this is, I know it's a little bit of a stretch. I don't have any other books, and I really want to continue with The Rose Society. Again, I don't know if I'll get to all of these books before the month is over because I have a lot of essays to write and a lot of exams. So we'll see. I'm gonna try my hardest. And the last prompt is fantasy, and for that one I'm choosing either Crescent City or Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rush. Again, this is a book that has been on my shelf for as long as The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken and Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I haven't hauled those books only recently, so I think this is about since 2014, 2015. I really want to get to this. I really want to get to this entire, I think it's trilogy. The reason why I unhauled Alexandra Bracken's books is because I think they were mostly like a hype buy, whereas for these I'm genuinely excited about them. Moving on, I'm also joining the Polarthon from February 7th to 13th, and I'm joining the Arctic Animals. Basically for the Polarthon you are climbing up a mountain, but I'm gonna be probably skipping a prompt or two, I don't know, we'll see. I won't be reading in the order. I'm gonna just try my hardest to just read, get some time to read. Again, I am in a reading slump, and so if I read anything, it will be a blessing. So the first prompt that we have is cozy vibes, and again I am doubling up from the other prompts, and I'm choosing the flat share because again this feels cozy to me. This bed and just romance currently just makes me want to really curl up and read. I've been doing so much schoolwork that I haven't been feeling in the mood to read, but if I were to pick up something, it would be a romance book. Then we have Snowy Cover, which again I'm gonna be choosing Snow Like Ashes. Maybe, I mean, this is probably ashes, but again here we have a little bit of snow and plus snow in the title, and I thought this would be a perfect fit. Plus I am trying to get through my physical TBR this year, and with all of the unhauls I'm doing quite well. However, I just genuinely want to read more of the books that I have on my shelf rather than just unhauling them. Moving on, we have Animal Friend, and for that I'm gonna be picking up, I'm sorry if I'm not looking into the camera, I'm just trying to see where I am. I'm gonna be picking up The Rose Society. Again, Wolf, and the White Wolf is our main character's name, like nickname, so it would fit perfectly here as well. The next prompt we have is Arctic Setting, and for that one I don't really have an Arctic setting, but I'm gonna be choosing the most snowy book that I can get, and this is A Promise of Fire. I know it says fire, but if you look at the details, there are snowflakes here, and it's like snow and a little bit of ice, so I'm just going with this one. Plus it's also set in the icy north, where magic is might. An all-powerful elite ruthlessly guided by a glacial queen has grown to dominate the world. So basically it's set in an icy setting. Good enough for me. And last one we have Polar Fantasy. I don't have a Polar Fantasy. I don't know if Narnia is a Polar Fantasy, or maybe if this one is gonna count and I can double up, we'll see. And for the last challenge I have is Buzzword Challenge, where the prompts are me, you, he, him, she, her, they, them, their, we, us. So basically just kind of like pronouns, or I don't know what you call them. And for this one, the only book that I have is on my Kindle. I have just one book, just one option here, and this is I Hope You Find Me. I Hope You Find Me is gonna be my pick. I wanted to read it. It's not paranormal, it's an apocalyptic book. So I'm hoping that I can get to it. Again, I have a lot of exams in February. It's gonna be really packed. If I get to all of these books, I'm gonna cry of happiness. My plan is do schoolwork in the morning or until 3 p.m. and then for the rest of the day you can read if you're feeling up to it. I am so grateful that you're watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye!